ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आविश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 12, verse number 12. So in the previous verses we read the pastimes of Krishna with his friends in the forest while tending the cows. And then in the last verse, number 11, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, he spoke about the great fortune of them. So itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam parvayate maya shitanam nardarakena so sakam vijrahu krit punya punja. So he says that they are so fortunate that this position is not available to Gyanis or other bhaktas outside Vraj, what to speak of common people in the material world. So he continues that in this sloka also. Says yat padapam surbahu janma krichrato धृतात्मभिर्योगिभिरप्यलभ्यः सैव यदृग्विषय स्वयं स्थितः किं वर्ण्यते दिष्टमतो व्रजौकसाम्. So किं वर्ण्यते दिष्टम व्रजौकसाम्, that what and how can we describe the fortune of Vrajoksas or residents of Vraja. Why is that? It says the dust from the feet of that person is not available to yogis who control their mind and perform austerities for many lifetimes. Bahujanma krishratau dhritatmabhir yogibhir api alabhya. So they are unable to attain such a fortune because yogis, they try to control their mind, chitta vritti nirodha. That is not going to give them realization of Krishna. They can make their mind free from all tribulations and go into nirvikalpak samadhi, but that's all is their result, and that also with great effort. Trying to control the mind is not easy. So chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balvadrina tasyaham nigram manye vayuriva suduskaram. So it's as difficult as controlling the wind, and that's what yogis try to do. They try to control their breath. So it's already difficult to control the small air which you breathe. How will you control the big air outside? And he says that controlling mind is as difficult as controlling the air outside. So yogis, after great effort, they can control their breathing, and then they can maybe realize their own self, but they cannot have vision of Krishna. But that very Krishna saeva yadrig vishaya swayam sthita. That very Krishna is available to their vision himself. Means not that these coward people are doing anything. They are doing some pranayam or some kundalini yoga. Nothing like that. So kim varnate dishtam mato vrajaukasham. So what great fortune, it is beyond words, cannot be described because there is no comparison. So drishtam mato, there is difference in reading. In some readings it is drishtam aho. Yes.
Could you please stop? One of the batteries must be off, I think. But the cable, we have to stay the cable. No, it's not. It's the cable? Yeah. Oh, no. Turn it down. He said no. But we had this before when the battery was off.
Just use the camera on the iPad in the meeting.
Microphone, you mean?
I see.
No, but then we don't record here.
I see.
Okay, if it's this cable, then we could replace the cable. this, I would need to go downstairs.
Anyone have a battery?
No, there is other. Let's charge. There will be no connection.
And 3.5 millimeters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have this long this microphone.
No, I don't need the microphone, you need the cable. The 3.5 millimeter jack. Male.
Is this audio to XLR or audio?
Both would be fine.
I have one.
The golden one, yeah?
I have one more golden one.
Okay.
What is the problem?
This is the old up. Here's the actual. Akash just fixed it.
In the meantime, draw your breath.
I need to know. This guy had a defect yesterday, it was repaired, but apparently it's not completely repaired.
But it's not, connection is not proper.
Yeah.
So the static is in the plug.
Plug.
So then Akash is the connector, but maybe there's still a problem. I should have kept it back.
Going to glorify the fortune of the Brajvasis. And he is doing it so that we also become interested in something like this. Otherwise, people these days are very much interested in yoga, right? People are going to Rishikesh.
Go to the basement at 6 a.m. There's yoga class.
They go from Vrindavan to Rishikesh for yoga. And he's saying here, Kim Varnate Dishtam Mata Vrajokasam. That what great fortune can.
Yes, but the sound don't come from your mic, so comes from this mic. So here now.
So I speak in this or
Yes,
this?
please, yeah, because it's not working.
It's not working?
No.
Oh, okay. Move to the side. Okay, so let's read the commentary. So Sri Vishnu Chakravarti says, Tena sardham vihar varta dure tavadastam tat sambandhi vastunam vastum matramapi durlabham ityahi yadi. So he says that forget about playing with Krishna. That there is no possibility that these jnanis, yogis and other devotees, bhaktas, they can have the chance to play with Krishna. Dure tavadastam. Then what? That they don't even have the possibility to contact something which has contacted Krishna. So, parampara sambandh, indirect. Even indirectly contacting him is not possible. Tat sambandhi vastu matram. And not only some big thing, even dust. That's why dust is being used here. You may contact some other things. He says not even the dust these people have the chance to contact. What to speak of, suppose his flute or his calf or some butter he is eating. So there is no possibility of contacting anything like that. Even they cannot even get little contact with the dust from his feet. That is the importance. That's why the word dust is being used here. Is to show what is called kamutya, fortiori principle. So pansu reko pi dhulikana. So pansu also not too many dust, but even dust, one dust particle. So you see dust particle, you see sometimes they are hanging in the air when the light is coming through the window, then you can see them. floating. So even one of them which has contacted Krishna, they are unable to contact. Yadva yasya, now he gives another meaning because the statement here is yat pada pamsu. So either you can take it as a pada and pamsu. Pamsu means dust. Or you can take it as padapa plus amsu, depending on where you break. So now you understand why it is, you are saying some Vyakaran is dry. So this is how the rasa comes. That's how it becomes wet. So if you don't know the Vyakaran, you will say, what is he saying now here? So Padapamsu and Padapamsu, two meanings. So which meaning is to be taken? So therefore it says, Yadva yasya padapanam viharaspad vrindavaniya vrikshanam ansureka kirnoapi. So now he says, forget about dust from the feet of Krishna. That is too much far away for them. That even the trees which are in Vrindavan, they cannot get one dust from them. Dust means, he says, ray, like it means just something from the tree. Dust is directly touching Krishna's feet, but trees are not directly touching him. So even from the trees of Vrindavan, to get one light, amshu means one light ray reflecting from the tree, even that they cannot contact. And these boys, they are playing with that person. So he says, how can I describe the great fortune of these people? So dhritatma bhi reki ekagri krita chittair labdhu manara. And these are not some ordinary yogis. Because if ordinary yogis do not have such fortune, then you can say, no. The siddha yogis, dhritatma. That means atma here means manas. Means they have niruddha chitta. That chitta vritti nirodha means they have actually attained that position of chitta vritti nirodha. That is the meaning of dhrita atman. Dhrita here means niruddha. Atma means manas or chitta. So dhrita chitta vritti, niruddha chitta vritti, those who have controlled their chitta vrittis, those who have emptied their mind of any other thought. So nirvikalpak samadhi, even they cannot get contact with one ray light falling on the tree of Vrindavan. Means they cannot contact anything of Braj. That is the greatness of Braj, that these yogis. So vayorapi manso pangavanam. It's not possible. And in comparison, you can see how great are these boys. So this is what Sukadeva Goswami spoke in the Rambandham Leela. He says, Nayam Sukhapo Bhagavan Dehinam Gopika Sute Sargyaninam Chat Bhutanam Yatha Bhakti Matami. So he says that Nayam Sukhapo Bhagavan Devaki Sutta. That this Bhagavan is not Sukhapa. Sukhapa means easily attainable. He is not easily attainable as people may think. Sometimes the people think like that. So he is Durapa. He is very difficult to attain. So now I am this Krishna, which Bhagavan, Devaki Sutta, son of Devaki. Saying Devaki Sutta is not even saying Yashoda Sutta. No, Gopika Sutta. So Dehinam, Gopika Sutta, na Sukhapa, not easily attainable. Why is that? Because those who have the body, their focus is only on the body. Morning you get up, you are focusing only on your body till you sleep, and then at night also you dream. So that is what Dehina, those who have the Deha, this body, what are they doing? Their whole life circles around the body. Whether they are awake or they are in the dream state, or sometimes they are dreaming while awake, daydreaming. But everything, they want to eat, sleep, enjoy the senses, or things related with the body. Right? Any other thought which comes? Do you have to make any effort for this? Right? Natural. So how you will get Devaki Sutta? Those yogis who are controlling their breath, controlling their mind, they cannot get him. So how people who are absorbed in their material body are going to get him? Think it is a joke? We are absorbed in body, the yogis are absorbed in mind, they cannot get it. Body is very gross. So therefore it says, Nayam Sukhapo Bhagwan Dehinam Gopika Sutta. So what about the Jnanis? So he says they also, Jnaninam Chatum Bhutanam. Forget about Dehi. Maybe the Jnanis means who have Sadasad Vivek, right? Those who have the Viveka, the discrimination between what is matter, what is spirit, what is material, what is spiritual, what is Brahman, what is Maya. And that is, they are called Jnanis. Jnani means Vivek, Vivekwan, who can distinguish. So Krishna is not available to them also. Okay, so what? You know the difference. What difference does it make to Krishna? He's not interested. He says, Bhaktya mama vijanati. I can only known by love. The only thing he wants is love, not your Viveka. Viveka is good to go to that, but Viveka is not sufficient. It is a necessary condition, but not sufficient condition. So it is important to have this Viveka, this discrimination, otherwise we remain only absorbed in the body. Because materialistic people don't know anything beyond body. They circle around body and bodily relations. Their consciousness does not go beyond that. Right? Bodily consciousness. So Jnanis are beyond that. So even to them he is not available. Because that is okay, that is good, they have risen above the Prakriti, material consciousness. But Krishna is not just right after that, he is beyond that. So therefore, he says, Yatha Bhakti Bhakti Matam. Only by bhakti he is attained, not by anyone else. But here bhakti also he says, Dasyam Gatanam. That those who have bhakti of Dasya Bhav is not available to them also. So this have to be understood, otherwise you will not become serious. He keep on hearing bhakti is very simple, bhakti is very easy. So then he will relax. So don't relax. Remain on the goal. Yeah, you have to be serious about it. If you are not serious, then don't think you will get success. So that's why he is saying this. So Nayam Sukhapo Bhagwan Dehinam Gopika Sutta. So Jnaninam Chatum Bhutanam Yatha Bhakti Iti Purvatta. This was already spoken. And Swayam Sthitaha. So he is personally present himself. Not that he is sending some Messiah, right? Some representative. He himself is present. Swayam Bhagwan, personally present. So therefore it says, Kim Varnate Dishtam Aho Vajaukasham. Aho sounds better than Ato. Right? So I don't know why they made it Ato here. So Swadarshan sadhanam anapeksha eva. So what is the meaning of Swayam Sthita? Means without depending on any cause, any sadhana, any means. Because there are others who have performed some sadhana, who have practiced, and they have attained him. But here, these gopas, these gopabalakas, these cowherd boys, they have not performed anything like this, any sadhana, and he's himself available. So how wonderful they are, how great they are. So therefore he says, Aho. Dishtam bhagyam. So therefore he says, this is their great fortune. How can I describe it? So even Sukadeva Goswami feels incapable of describing this. Good to speak of ordinary people. So yadva dishtamaha dishtasya teja utsavava. So dishtamaha, it can mean maha means teja or light. So he says this is the brilliance of their fortune. So it can be aho, maho. So this maha, and maha means festival. That means fortune is like a big festival, Brajopshan.
From where does Dishtamaha, how is he glossing it as Dishtamaha?
No, this reading instead of Dishtamato, it should be Dishtamaho.
Okay, this is alternate reading. Okay.
Bo-
Actually, the sound is a little breaking, but still I'll ask my question if you can hear. My point was that his fortune being described from Brajvasis. So is it just to give like relative comparison between Karmis and Bhaktas, or because they are eternal associates and they are beginning mostly with the, so like generally we say fortune comes at a certain point. Somebody starts from nature, then he associates that nature goes on. So how do we understand this fortune?
yeah, just to show how great they are and to compare.
Really a comparison.
Yeah, that's why the comparison is made. That's why he spoke about Jnani, he spoke about Karmis, so that you understand their excellent position. Then you can appreciate. Everybody wants to have the supreme position, right? If you want to have some goal in your life, you want the best thing to attain. So otherwise you may think, well, there's no difference between them and Jnanis, so I can take to Jnana mark. So that you understand that this is not same.
One more question I had. This word Dhrit Atma Bir Ekagrikrit Chittar Labdhum Anarha. So here Chitta, is it a Chitta ke baad upar Ra ki matra hai? Or is it misprint here in this book? Ekagrikrit.
Chittai.
Okay, Chittai is there.
Yeah. Chittai labdhum
Okay.
anarha.
Chittair Labdhum Anarha.
Because they are yogi bhi, no, plural. So chitta will also be in plural.
Okay. And this one, Dishtasya Tej Utsavova.
Maha, the word Maha means Tej. And Teja can also mean Utsav.
So Bhagya ka Tej. उनके भाग्य का तेज इतना.
So now,
when he says in the Tika, Swadarshana sadhanam anapekshit, so that implies that he's present and he's not giving any regard as to whether others have done this sadhana for his darshan. In other words, the Brajavasis are getting his darshan just naturally by their presence, not that he's depending on them having done some yoga or whatever. Is this the sense? Okay.
right. So now Aghasura enters into the scene. When nice things are going on, then some obstacle also comes. Right? So Shreyansi Bahu Vignani, there is a saying in Sanskrit that if you do some auspicious work, then many obstacles come in that. So some big festival is going on, then suddenly electricity fails. Or the mic breaks down. So here big festival is going on, right? All the cowherd people, Krishna, they are all relishing such nice picnic in the forest. Cows are grazing, they are happy. Fresh water, fresh grass, fresh air, no pollution. It's not hot, no need of AC or anything like that. Right? So everything was perfect. And the children, they have no anxiety. They are not thinking, oh, we have to do homework. Tomorrow we have to go to school. Right? No school. Children don't want to go to school. They like to play. So everything is just perfect. So now suddenly Aghasura comes. So this is being described here. स्वथाघानाम अभ्यापतन महासुरस्तेषां सुख क्रीडन वीक्षण क्षमः नित्यं यदन्तर्निज जीवितेप्सुभिः पीतामृतैरप्यमे प्रतीक्षते. So why it happens like this? Because when you are enjoying, you are relishing, then there are also people who are burning. People become jealous. So that's why you have to keep everything under the carpet. You know why they say that you should hide your bhajan, you should hide this, don't tell this. Because people will become jealous of you. So he says that now when this nice thing was going on, Sukha Kridana, they are happily playing. It is a play. For Krishna, everything is a play. Right? He's not making effort, he is enjoying. So then this Aghasura, he was Vikshana Akshama. He was unable to see this. So there are some people here in the material world whose only job is just burning. So that is the Asuric mentality.
Every Sangha has one.
So Asuric mentality is that they are just busy finding fault with others, unable to tolerate why he is doing like this, what is this, oh, how can he enjoy like this, why does he think he is greater than me. So that's why Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi Sunichena, that remain low, otherwise you are going to create problem. So great Vaishnavas are those, the great Vaishnavas, Mahabhagavatas, they also consider this, that I don't want to show myself in a way that other people become jealous, then they will commit offense and they will become more implicated. They think like that. They are not thinking, well, I don't care, it is their problem. No, they think that these are ignorant people, and if they become jealous of me, offensive of me, then they will suffer. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. There was no need for him to take sannyas, but the people of Nadia, they were becoming jealous of him. They are criticizing him. So he says that I came here to do good to people, and these people are actually getting more degraded by becoming jealous. So he says, better I take sannyas. So this is how great personality thinks. So here Krishna is playing, and this Aghasura, he is Vikshana-akshama. He is unable to see this, that how is that these people can enjoy so much. So some people's pleasure is only pulling others down, other criticizing, finding fault, causing trouble to others. And when if somebody falls down, then they laugh. So this is their pleasure. This is the Asurik Vritti. Krishna says this pravrittim cha nivrittim न च janana vidurasura. So pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasura. That those who are asuric people, ungodly people, they do not know what should be done, what should not be done. So then what happens? They do things which they should not do, and they don't do what they should do. This is the nature of rajas. So ayathavat janati. These are part tamas. So knowing things just the opposite of what it is. So na socham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyati. So this is the mentality, materialistic mind. In the material world everybody has it. It's just a percentage, because everybody has sattva, rajas, tamas. So this is there, therefore we have to be aware of it. That is the meaning of Aghasura-līlā, killing of this Aghasura. So if we meditate on Krishna, if we take shelter of Krishna, then this asuric bhav, which is inside our chitta, this will be dispelled by him. So dhunoti sarvam hridi sannivishta. Krishna says that he enters into the heart and dhunoti, it makes chutney out of it, getting inside the heart. Like he protected Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, like that he protects his devotees. So therefore devotees remain safe. Tathanate madhavatav kuchit bhrashanti margatvai baddha saurida. So baddha saurida, because their hearts are tied to Krishna. So then these asuric things, they are there. It's not that one becomes Siddha Purusha immediately. So but they do not get troubled by that. Rather they vinayakani kapa murdha suprabha. So they transcend them by jumping over the head of these obstacles, vinayakas. So this is how problems come in the form of subtle manner. It's a very subtle problem of the mind, of the chitta. Vikshana akshama. Sukha kridana vikshama akshama. Not able to see other person's happiness. So when you see other person happy, your neighbor happy, sometimes even your partner is happy, you become jealous of that. People, the husband, wife also become jealous. Brothers and sisters become jealous. Father and son become jealous. Because it is material. That is why dehinam. Because ultimately everybody is fixed in their own dehi, in their own body. That is the center. So then it can extend, but when it comes to, when they say when push comes to shove or shove comes to push, I don't know which way it is, but push comes to shove, then my body. Then even my son, my brother, my wife, my husband, don't care. So this is what Yagyavalkya said. Navare patyu kamaye pati priyo bhavati apito atmane kamaye eva pati priyo. So atmane kamaye, for myself. So this is the selfishness. But the problem is that this selfishness is in relationship with physical body, which is not myself. If the selfishness was truly in relationship to myself, the inner self, the Atma, then there is no problem. But we superimpose the body onto the self and then work from that. That is the problem. So this is what Aghasura is. So there. Navare patyu kamaye prati priyo bhavati apito atmana kamaye. So atha aghanama abhyapatan mahasura. So not an ordinary asura, but mahasura. So this is a big problem. This jealousy, envy is not a small problem on the path of bhakti. That's why in Bhāgavatam it is said in the very beginning, Nirmatsaranam satam, that this bhakti, this prema bhakti is for nirmatsara. Because how can you have jealousy, envy, matsarya when you understand that your object of love is in everybody? Aham hridhi sannivishta matta smritir jnanam apohanam vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabh. So if I understand that it is my beloved Krishna who is in everybody, then how will I become jealous? How will I take pleasure by causing trouble to somebody else? It will not happen. So this is what we were reading in Bhakti Sandarbha also. Jiva Goswami was making this point. This is the crux of the matter. This is the beauty of bhakti, that it removes all the impurities of the heart. This is the meaning of Chetodarpan Marjanam. Because you can't do kirtan when you are envious. Then you are only going to think, I have to play kartal better than this guy. And if he is singing nicely, I have to cause trouble so that he cannot sing. So it is not kirtan. So now this Mahasura, the great Asura, whose name was Agha. So Agha means, what does Agha means? Papa. So Agha means that which cannot be destroyed without experiencing it. Nahanyate bhogam vinaiti agha. This gha comes from han dhatu. Hanor hasya ghoninya, one sutra will come later on. The ha becomes gha. It's like you hear the word ghataka. Right? Ghataka means killer. It actually comes from han dhatu. Ha becomes gha. Or hata. So ghataka. So network dropped now. Iti agha. So if you commit some wrong act, then you have to pay for it. Nāuktam chiyate karma kalpakoti shatairapi avashyam eva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubha shubham. So ashubha karma, that is what is agha. That is what is papa. So it is not going to go away without experiencing the result of it. So that's why it is called agha. So that asura is here. So apatan means he came there. Tesham sukridana vikshaksham. Why he came there? Because he was unable to tolerate their happiness. So people can go and take a lot of trouble to cause trouble to others. They can spend money, they can create a lot of trouble to create trouble for others. It's their pleasure. Therefore, and at time, our life is limited and our goal is very pristine, very high, and we have so much time. So we waste our precious time. That itself is more than enough. But to speak of now actually taking troublesome action to cause trouble to somebody, like that thing that he got the boon that whatever happens to me, the double should happen to my neighbor. So then he says, what do you want? He says, I want that there should be one ditch in front of my door. So he says, okay. Then there was 2 ditches in front of the neighbor's door. He says, now I want that I lose one of my eye. So he lost one of his eye, the neighbor lost both. So he's going to fall into the ditch. So he is ready to lose one of his eyes so that the neighbor becomes blind. So this is the mentality, Aghasur mentality. So nityam yadantar nij jivite subhir pita mritairapi amarai pratikshate. So the devas who have drink amrita, pita amritai amrairapi pratikshate, they also waited for his death. Nityam yadanta nirja jivitepshu. So he was such a asura. So no one can kill us. The meaning is that this Aghasura cannot be killed by anybody else. Even it means if you worship Indra, Chandra, Shiva, you will still have jealousy. It goes away only by Krishna Bhakti. Only Bhakti can purify this. So that's why Dharma projita kaitu atra parmo nirmatsaranam satam. Cannot happen by any other process. So then you see, even the Kumaras, they are Brahmagyanis, they also became angry at the gatekeepers. But the gatekeepers, they did not become angry. They are devotees. Okay, so this, what does it show? That it's only by bhakti that you get purified and not otherwise. Question you have?
Yeah. Baba, so can we say that Aghasura represents the anartha of envy?
How does this word nij ipse to be connect with Pitamriterapi, nij amre? What is the sense of this word?
Amarai, you know Amara?
That I understood, but
what
how?
Amara, Pitamrit,
Right.
and Nij Jivitepsavi, they're desiring to live themselves, desiring for their own life.
Okay. Even the Devtas, they are waiting for his death because
They want to protect their own life, they are scared of him, not. They are worried about himself, their self. Any other question on this? Yes.
I have a general question about offenses since you're discussing this. Should I ask that later? Or?
No, ask now, there is no later.
So, essentially, I understand very little about the mind, but if like what I've experienced and also understood is that even if you hate somebody and contemplate constantly on that person, like even through hatred, you slowly become like that person, right? Because the mind doesn't have subtraction. Whatever you think about, whether hatefully or lovingly, you kind of gravitate towards that. So, and we know that contemplating on sadhus and great Vaishnavas means that we ourselves purify ourselves. But somehow, if we are envious or we hate them, and in that sense we think about them, that becomes an offense. So is this because this principle is not working at the level of the mind, or because if it was working at the level of the mind, then it seems like you
because you are not meditating on their good qualities. What are you meditating on? If you are meditating on their good qualities, then you will become good. But envy and jealousy means what? You find fault. So what is your meditation? Your meditation is not on sadhu. Your meditation is on the quality of the sadhu, which you are seeing as a fault. So then how will you improve? Already shall we read the commentary? Read? Okay. Read. So evam tad क्षण परमानंद ग्रहकत्वात् स्वतः समाप्ति असंभवम आकलय्य समाप्तिम च विना भोजन पानादिकम च न सिद्ध्येत इति प्रात्याहिक भोजन समय अत्ययम च अवधार्य लीला शक्त्या एव तद विच्छेदार्थम दुष्ट संहारस्य अपि अवश्य कर्तव्यतया तदानीमेव अंतर्यामी प्रेरण वशात कश्चिद अघासुरो नाम तेषाम अभिमुखम आनिन्ये इत्याह. So Jiva Goswami has a different view on this, very interesting. So he says that in this way they were completely absorbed in their play. And when you become absorbed in play, you forget everything else because you are relishing it so much. So pratikshana parmananda vardhakatvat. Moreover, their play was such that every moment their ananda was increasing. So where is the thought of food in such a situation? Swataha samapti asambhavam. So therefore they will never bring this play to an end. So therefore Leela Shakti of Krishna thought that these boys will keep on playing like this. They will never stop. And therefore they will not have their breakfast also. And they will not drink. So this is their daily Leela, that they should also eat, drink, nourish their body and not just play. Right? So all play, no work makes a Tom bad boy. So at least they have to eat. So therefore she thought that we have to bring this play to an end now. And to bring that play to an end, and also at the simultaneously let Krishna also kill the demon, this Asura, Dust Samharasyapi, because that also has to be executed by Krishna. So therefore she was inspired now. Tadanimev antaryami preran vashat kaschid aghasuro nam tesham abhimukham anini. So therefore she brought Aghasura right there to bring a break in their play. So therefore it says ityaha atha. So word atha is used in the sense of subject. Sukha kridanasya vikhnamapi na kshamate iti sarva sukhdam api tesham kridam tasya dukhdam abhut iti bhava. So although they are happily playing, but Aghasura was unable to tolerate that. And therefore their happy play became source of suffering for him. Actually suffering seeing them, that how is that they can enjoy so much. So it says dukhdam abhutati. Yadantaha yasya aghasura antram marnam sadhak chidram pitamritai tato mrityu bhitai ramrai katham marishyati pratikshati. So who was this Aghasura? Aghasura was a person whose death even the devas were awaiting. That how can this person be killed? What will be the means of getting him killed? When is he going to die? So that is one meaning. Then he gives another meaning. Yadva yath sukha kridanam antar hirdaye pratikshate pratikshanam ikshate chintyate ityartha. So he says this sukridanam can be applied with anta, that this the pleasure which Krishna is having, that there is also meditation, that when can we have such pleasure. This is another way of applying it. So although they have drank Amrita, but they don't have this pleasure. Amrita api Krishna Lila Amrit Panam Bina Jivitam Vastuto Jivitam Na Bhavati. That although they have drunk the heavenly Amrita, but they are not able to drink Krishna Amrita. And therefore they think that our life is waste without Amrita. So in the Padma story, that when that go. What is the name of that? One is Dhandumar and another is Dhundakari, and one brother born Gokarna. When he was reciting Bhagavatam, then Devas came with a pot of Amrita and he said that you take this and give us the Bhagavat Katha, and he says no. So that means they also want to hear Bhagavat Katha, they also want to have relish of Krishna Lila. So Krishna Lila Amrit Panam Bina Jivitam Vasto Jivitam Na Bhavati. Says life without drinking the Lila Amrita of Krishna is not a life. And this is what Shaunaka said, that Karne Narasya below at Urukrame Karne Karnapute Narasya Nashanvat Kathamritam Jiva Suta Darduruki Napagayati Nachopagayati Urugaya Gatha. That tongue is the tongue of a frog which does not sing the Katha of Urukrama, Krishna. And those ears are ears, they are the holes for the snake to enter, which does not hear the Krishna Katha. And Karau Savo Eva Lasat Kanchan Kankano. Hands are dead body, goes on to say. So Leela Amrit Pan, even Devas, they are unable to get it. So that's why he says, therefore life is not. Yatas tasmat nijjivita epshurityartha. So they are wishing to live in the hope that we can also get the chance to hear this. That is another way of seeing this verse. So I'll stop here. Anyone? Any more question? Yeah. Can you give the mic here?
I had a friend raised a question about the class from yesterday. That in the course of description of the play, where the lunch was being thrown and displaced from the person who had it to the point where the boy was crying, then the question was asked that the whole play is characterized as supremely blissful, but by conventional standards, to boys to play with each other in such a way as to make their friend cry, it's considered a little mean, right? Or not exactly fun for the fellow who's crying. So they were wondering how to see this as the paramount bliss.
Yeah, this is also their Leela. They are also playing like that. Just like you eat food, then you have different tastes in that. So this is also taste that is crying for a little bit. When he gets it, then he feels so happy, I got my lunch back. Right? So he cried for a little bit, and then he gets his lunch box back, then he is happy. Then he gets more happiness than before. So that's a way of giving happiness. Viyog and Sanyog. Na viplambena vina. Right? Sambhogam pushtim ashnute. So that's the principle.
So no Harikatha in the heavenly planets?
Who is doing Harikatha then?
Then I'm not going there.
Who will do? When people are rich, they want to have Harikatha. Full stop.